Can I just move you back to your presentation there in paragraph 8? Exclusion of cover is generally at a last resort. Do you still stand over that?
Stand over that. Exclusion of cover is a last resort. Insurers are in the business of providing flood cover to as many people as possible.
And Mr. Organ, you just mentioned there earlier on in your thing, you acknowledged the event of 2002 and work that was carried out then in relation after the flood event in 2002. Is that recognised by the cover now, the work that was carried out by the OPW after the event of 2002?
In Dublin, where there were problems 10 years ago, flood defence works were carried out, and there are much less problems now.
Well, can I just give you a letter that was issued by the engineer in charge of the Flood Defence Unit project team. Flood protection work over the section of the Dodder Estuary, and we'll keep specific because that was the flood event was in the north and south side of Dublin. Ringsend Bridge to New Bridge, which is Sandymouth, are now completed. They're designated to prevent tidal and river flooding up to a 200-year event, plus the best estimates of tidal rise due to global warming and to the end of the century. Would you think that would be sufficient to allow people to get flood insurance in their property? It's an official letter issued by a professional team that works with the OPW. Would that be adequately enough to allow household insurance to get flood cover?
Yeah, I said in my presentation,
you mentioned particularly the 2002 event and the work that was carried out. That's why I'm asking you. There is the Flood Defence Unit Protection Division has issued this letter to the area that's now protected up to 200-year event, and to their best estimates in global warming. So I'm asking you, and this was given to your members by well over 1,000 of people that has insurance policies in those areas. Do you think that's adequately enough cover or guarantee to allow flood insurance in that area?
What I'm saying is that, and we said it in paragraph 12 here, is it's important that the OPW communicates reliable information on flood defences to insurers, and we listed the things that we wanted, and that. What?
That has been communicated, and there has been meetings with the insurance companies, with the engineers in charge. So, are you saying the information that was given was inadequate?
What I'm saying is information. We're involved in a process of engagement with the OPW where we're asking for information as listed in paragraph 12, so that information can be provided to insurance companies so that they can take it into account when they're making the decisions, and it partly answers the
but it has been
point that the chairman is making.
Communicated. The information has been communicated. The Part 8 planning permission, the title, all that information has been freely accessible to your members.
The problems that were maybe in Dublin 10 or so years ago, there are much fewer problems of that nature now.
And should that not now reflect in their insurance policies?
It does reflect in their insurance policies.
I'll just give you an example. I done a survey over the summer of 1,000 households in the Ringsend, Irish and Sandymouth area that was covered by your particular event. Quite a significant number cannot get any insurance. The majority has seen double. One lady answered, I've been insured with Access for 20 years with flood cover, never flooded, but my premium more than doubled. Afraid to move because I can't get flood cover elsewhere, but have never been flooded in the past. Never flooded, refused quotes from all companies despite flood wall now in place, which is your flood protection, and she goes to name each insurance company that she had approached. A woman that was insured has been insured with Hibernia, now Aviva, for nearly 40 years. Was flooded in 2002, made claim, policy elapsed while in hospital this year. Aviva, she failed to renew the policy because she was in hospital, and Aviva refused to renew the cover. And then residents receiving letters from Zurich advising that they're no longer in a position to provide flood cover. Now, that's just kind of 4 examples of a very wide-ranging survey. The OPW spent €8.5 million over 4 years. Now, you're asking for that information. To my knowledge, Mr. Hayes also raised it when he met us. Have they received those flood defences? The likelihood of those areas being flooded are quite minor. Still can't get flood insurance. Some people, as the chair has pointed out, can't sell their houses because they can't get flood cover insurance when it comes up. Now, I'm putting to you the presentation you gave to me is very different than what is factually happening on the ground. You mentioned yourself that the substantial work that was carried out by the OPW in 2002, that's 8.5 million. Yeah, those people of the area I surveyed, that's what's reflecting on the ground. Now, can you ask me why are your members, and I can give you a list of the insurance companies people have been in contact with, refused household insurance or doubled it? Why that is happening?
Knowing the individual circumstances of the individual people involved, it's hard to answer that question. But I mean, our point is that if the flow of information from the OPW on the flood defences that they carry out around the country is improved to the maximum, that means that insurers have.
Are you saying to me that the OPW has not
factor into their underwriting process? Are
you saying to me that the OPW has not provided that information to your members, and the letter that they issued, reissued in July 2012, but had been reissuing those assurances since 2009, is not sufficient? Are you like literally? Are we? What are we talking about? Are we questioning, in the Dublin circumstances, the professionalism of the OPW and Dublin City Council in this matter?
There have been some schemes in the past where there's been a difference of opinion as to the adequacy of the work that's been done. I think the one that Michael was referring to earlier was in relation to the north side, was it not? Okay. Yeah. Certainly in some areas where there hasn't been adequate liaison in the design of the scheme in the first place, there are differences of opinion as to how adequate the defences are. And there is scope for different expert views. One of the things we were asking for and that we highlighted in the presentation was the need to be involved for a number of stakeholders, including insurers, to be involved in the design of the scheme. So some of the work that's been done in the past, while well-intentioned, does not necessarily address the problem to an adequate extent, and it may be that in those cases that's one of the problems.
So you're saying that what has been certified by the City Council and the OPW as a 1 in 200 offence, done by international standards, are not adequate? Is that what you're saying?
It may be the case. I'm saying it's a possibility.
I think the possibility is more likely is you decided to ignore the work that was done and still charge high insurance. I think that's more. Can I just move on? Because obviously, I'm not going to get a proper answer on this, because, and I have to say, is the amount of hardship this has caused people is enormous. Never mind being flooded, but to feel that they can't get insurance or that they can't sell their home. The damage that's doing is immeasurable. But I got to move on, because I really feel that you need to come back with very strong and legitimate answers on these things, because these were designed by the best international experts, and you're saying, as far as the users are concerned, it wasn't adequate standards. Can I just bring very quickly back?
Deputy Cochran Kennedy then.
Okay, well, I'll come back later on.
I'll come back again, okay? Deputy Cochran Kennedy.
Thank you very much, Chair.